Hey guys, doing well today. In today's video we talk the big announcement that New Zealand Rugby just announced that Super Rugby Aotearoa will come back for the second season. So yeah, first of all, this is just huge news in general because we're great to see that domestic rugby in New Zealand is finally confirmed. And yeah, no, it's pretty huge. It starts off in 26th of February in 2021. So it has been pushed a month, you could say. Well, that's kind of expected really with the amount of free time you really need to give for the players, because they're still currently in the rugby championship. So yeah, you need to give them at least a month to actually rest, because that is very important. You might not think it is, but it's very important for the players just to have some rest time. So yeah, no, I fully agree with that decision in starting this new competition on the 26th of February. Fully like that. And yeah, it'll be literally the same concept as this year. Having 10 games, so you'll have each of the sides will have at least 5 games, and they'll play home and away, of course, against all the New Zealand sides. But this time, the only difference actually to this competition from this season's competition is that there will actually be a final at the end, and that's actually probably one of the highly requested things that fans and players actually wanted, because they felt. I mean, if you looked at Super Rugby AU, the one thing that I think they did very well was adding actually a semi-final then final. I think that actually spiked, you could say, viewership for that tournament. And I think Super Rugby Aotearoa also combining that that aspect to this tournament, I think just works with wonders really. And I think having a final is just to make it so much more interesting. I mean, I think a lot of people expected to see the Blues and Crusaders be kind of a final for this year's tournaments, but yeah, we never really had that, because obviously the Crusaders won a round earlier, which, to be fair to them, they totally deserved it. But I think a lot of neutral fans would have preferred to see a Crusaders Blues final. I think that's kind of what we wanted to see. But yeah, they've listened, and it's good to see that New Zealand Rugby are actually listening to fans and players. So that's a good start. And yeah, no, the second edition, like I said, will start in 26th of February. And it looks like the first, the whole fixture list has actually come out for all the teams, with the Chiefs, Hurricanes, Crusaders, Blues, and Highlanders, and all of them have their their draw essentially. And the first game will be played with the Highlanders hosting the Crusaders on the 26th, as well as the Hurricanes hosting the Blues. So that'll be round 1, and then from there you'll have obviously other games. But yeah, this is huge news in general. I mean, you have Sky Sports, who will be the broadcasting, who will have broadcasting rights within New Zealand, as well as being the main sponsor in a sense. So that's good to see for New Zealand really. And yeah, you have New Zealand general manager and and professional rugby performance Chris Lundgren said that there'll also be a Tasmanian tournament also as well. So that's huge news. And I've actually I've seen a lot of rumors of how this tournament will actually happen, and what might actually happen is that for this Tasman tournament you'll have both Super Rugby AU and you'll have Super Rugby Aotearoa. They'll be both separate tournaments, but then you'll also have another tournament, which this is the rumor, but it looks like there'll be another tournament, which is kind of like what they're suggesting here, a Tasmanian tournament, where you'll have both the Australian and New Zealand teams, and they'll face off against each other, one-off games. And it looks like what will happen is that it'll essentially just be in a leaderboard, but whoever comes the first and second will then play within a final, and then that'll be the grand final essentially for that tournament. So I think that's the rumor. It's not obviously true, because obviously there's more announcements to to be written, but yeah, if that were to happen, I'd love that, because it looks like at the moment there'll be 5 Australian sides and 5 New Zealand sides for that. It is a rumor, but it is looking likely that it could happen, and that does mean that you'll have the Western Force coming back into Super Rugby in a sense. That's actually great to see, because I know a lot of people who love the Western Force, and personally I thought they actually were great in Super Rugby AU. So I'm just happy to see them back within this whole concept of Super Rugby, because they totally deserve it. I mean, with the player, I was impressed by a lot of the players they had. I think. Who was I impressed by the most? I mean, you had John O'Lance and you had a few youngsters, but I'm just happy to see the Western Force back in it. So that's another positive you can say for Australia. But yeah, at the moment, obviously Super Rugby AU isn't confirmed. You have, obviously this is Super Rugby Aotearoa that I'm talking about, but I think in the next few weeks, I think Australia will definitely have some news relating to Super Rugby AU and for the new season. But yeah, overall, just so happy to see that New Zealand has actually put out the full fixture list for Super Rugby Aotearoa. Hopefully the Blues can win. I am a Blues fan, so I'm gonna hope that they can win this comp. Obviously, we won't have Bowden Bear at this time because he's going to be in Japan. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, other than that, just wanted to give you guys the breaking news and just what I found out recently about Super Rugby. Because for me, I'm a biggest fan of Super Rugby, and I obviously I was saddened to hear that South Africa had to leave, but it was totally understanding in a sense where if you think about like a money situation and how they're going to progress for the future, it was kind of understandable that they had to leave the Super Rugby concept and go to like Pro 14. But the great thing is that they're actually staying in the Rugby Championship for the next 10 years because they've actually signed an agreement to that. So that's probably the positive, because personally as a South African fan as well, I want them to play in the Rugby Championship. I think that's where the best quality of rugby is. So, but yeah, overall just happy to see Super Rugby Aotearoa finally kicking off, and hopefully we still have a few months to wait, and we're only 2 rounds into the Rugby Championship, so we have a long way to go. But yeah, just excited to hear the news, and just hope you guys are excited as well. But yeah, also I will be doing a prediction video for my next video that should be coming out in the next few days for the Autumn Nations. But I wanted to ask you guys, just put down in the comments for this video if you want to see previews for all the games for the Autumn Nations. If I just see any comments just saying that you guys want to see these videos, I will definitely do it, because at the moment I'm kind of like in my head saying if I should do previews for the Autumn Nations, but if I see you guys wanting it, I will definitely do it. So yeah, just comment below, like seriously, just comment below and just tell me if you want to see those videos, because I will definitely do it. But yeah, for this week, I will definitely just put out the Autumn Nations prediction as well as my preview for the New Zealand Argentina game. So other than that, just hope you guys have a good day, and yeah, see you guys next time.